This is TWiT.
Alibaba's big IPO was indeed big. The company closed on its first day of trading as a public company at $93.89 with a valuation of more than $231 billion. Bloomberg notes that it is now worth more than Facebook, which passed $200 billion in market value earlier this month and is worth $201.6 billion as of today's close. As for Alibaba's U.S.-based e-commerce rivals, Amazon is valued at about $153 billion, while eBay is worth $65 billion. Alibaba's $21.8 billion sale was the biggest ever IPO for a technology company. At an IPO price of $68 a share, Alibaba was valued at 29 times expected earnings for the year through March, and analysts forecast that Alibaba's earnings will grow 50% in fiscal year 2015 from the previous 12 months. That was a lot of billions. Apple's new iPhone 6 and 6 Plus officially went on sale today to predictably long store lines at Apple stores around the world. Apple CEO Tim Cook made an appearance at the company's local Apple store in Palo Alto, California, while Apple's new SVP of Retail and Online Stores, Angela Arendts, oversaw the iPhone's launch to world's first customers in Sydney, Australia. Although the iPhone 6 and 6 Plus launched today in the U.S., Hong Kong, Japan, and Australia, there is no release date set for China, which is the world's biggest smartphone market. That creates opportunities for outside vendors with access to the supply chain, big returns on marked up black market iPhone models. Bloomberg reports Beijing-based vendors are already offering two-day delivery of a 16-gig iPhone 6 for 8,000 yuan. That's $1,303 American. And the 128-gig iPhone 6 for delivery on September 20th at the equivalent of about $2,441. That's a lot higher than the Hong Kong price of about $927. China's Xinhua news agency said yesterday that iPhones have cleared just 2 of 3 regulatory steps necessary to be sold in the country and still need network access licenses from the Ministry of Industry and Information Technology. But enough about iPhones. It's Friday, so why not talk a little bit about Android too? The next generation of Google's Android OS, the L release, is due for release next month, or so they say. And the company has announced it will encrypt data by default for the first time, meaning that encryption happens automatically for new Android devices, and only someone who enters a device's password will be able to see pictures, videos, and other data stored on those smartphones. Google joins Apple, of course, with a new form of encryption that in many cases makes it impossible for law enforcement to collect evidence off the phones, even with the necessary search warrants. The newest Android devices will likely ship with default encryption after October. One Bitcoin Ponzi scheme down. A U.S. federal judge has ordered Bitcoin Savings and Trust and its owner to pay a combined $40.7 million after the Securities and Exchange Commission established that the company was a Ponzi scheme using Bitcoins to sell investments. The SEC said Bitcoin Savings and Trust owner Trendon Shavers used the online handle Pirate@40 to raise over 732,000 Bitcoin from February 2011 to August 2012, promising investors up to 7% in weekly interest to be paid based on his ability to trade the currency. Shavers and his company are now liable to give up $38.6 million of illegal profits plus $1.8 million in interest. Each defendant in the Texas case was also fined $150,000.